Hey everyone, I'm back with another camera themed video today, and I thought I'd make this because I get a lot of questions about what the best camera is for YouTube, or just people asking me who've had a channel for a while just what camera I'd recommend when they feel like getting an upgrade. And the answer might seem a bit obvious, but I recommend the camera that I actually own, which is the Canon 700D. I think it's called something else in America though, I'll have that name on the screen now. But basically that is the one that I'd recommend. I've had mine for about 3 or 4 years now, it's never let me down. So I'm going to go through all the features that it has that makes it a really good choice if you're looking for a camera for filming YouTube videos, and hopefully when I go through that, then even if you're not thinking of getting this particular camera, you can still make a little list of things that are useful to have and take that to a camera shop with you when you're deciding what camera you do want to get. I'm going to try to keep this as beginner friendly as possible. I know that sometimes I can ramble on a bit and get a bit technical, but if you do want to get into the technical side of things, I have plenty of other videos for that. I have a video on manual settings on cameras, and I also have a video on how I film videos myself. So that's when I talk about what settings I use, what shutter speed, all that stuff. If you're interested in learning more on that, then I'll leave the links to those videos in the description box. Anyway, let's get started. So this is the Canon 700D. Even though it's obviously bigger than a compact camera, it's still fairly lightweight and quite portable. The main feature of the camera that I find really useful for filming is the flip out screen. So as you can see, you can flip it out and have it facing you when you're filming, which really comes in handy because you can see if you're in frame and you can check that you're in focus as well, which is really good. Another feature that the Canon 700D has is called continuous autofocus. It basically means that if you focus the camera and you start talking but then you move your face a little bit, it will refocus on you so that you're not blurry. I personally don't use this myself, but it's a really good feature for beginners. One of the other things that makes this a really good camera for YouTube is the fact that it has a mic input, and then the microphone just sits on top of the camera just here. So now I've shown you the camera and all the features that make it really good for filming videos, I thought I'd talk about the lenses I have as well, because that's another thing that I get asked about quite a lot. So I wanted to mention the kit lens first of all. This is the lens that came with my camera. I think it's really good value to get this little kit lens with it, and it is quite versatile. If it's your first DSLR, this is a really nice lens to start out with. It starts at 18mm, which is quite a nice wide angle, and it goes all the way to 55, which is kind of like a mid-range. Basically that means you can zoom in and out to get the exact look that you want. The widest aperture that you can get on this is either f3.5 or f5.6, depending on what focal length you have, so it's not going to give you a massively blurry background. When I first started filming videos for YouTube, this was the only lens that I used. It was before I bought the one that I'm using right now, which I'll tell you more about as well. The thing that makes this particular lens really good for filming is the STM feature. That's basically a silent motor, so that means the camera will focus really quickly and really quietly. That is ideal when you're filming. The lenses that don't have this feature are going to be very loud when they focus, and most of the time the microphone sits right on top of the lens, as you'll have seen when I was showing you the Canon 700D. So that's not really ideal. So the advantages of this are that it's fairly affordable. You can get quite a good deal if you buy this with the DSLR. It's quite versatile, it's very quiet, it's very quick to focus. I actually used this lens in my earlier YouTube videos, so have a look at those if you want to see what the quality is like, and also if you want to have a good laugh, because my early videos are so awkward. The only downside to this is that the aperture doesn't go very wide, so it's not going to give you as much of a blurry background as what I have right now, for example, but it'll still be a good one to get you started, and you can always get another lens later on. I also have the lens that I'm filming with at the moment. This is actually the lens that I film with in every single video. It's the 40mm f2.8 pancake lens. That has the STM feature as well, which is ideal. It's also very light and very small, which I love because when I take my DSLR out with me, I tend to only take this lens. It just makes my kit feel much lighter, and for me the 40mm lens will do everything that I want. For some people it probably isn't wide enough, but for me 40mm is fine. It has a really nice f2.8 aperture. I think this is about £120 RRP or something along those lines. I got mine second hand for £90-ish. For the price, it is really good. Personally, I tend to prefer fixed focal length lenses. That's usually what I shoot with, whether I'm filming or taking photographs, and I quite like them myself. Even though they are limited, I find that the quality tends to be better. The glass is usually better in fixed focal length lenses, and that just means that your images are going to look much sharper. It's not versatile because it doesn't zoom, so that means you are basically stuck at this focal length. I do love the 40mm lens, I'm very happy with it, but if I had the money I would definitely upgrade to the Sigma f1.2 lens. The glass on it is superb. I love the wide aperture. It's something that I could use for filming and for clients who want photographs taken as well. It would be perfect for both of those things. So yeah, that's what I'm saving up for. I'd like to get that at some point this year. I'm not quite sure when, but I will definitely be investing in that very soon. So I thought I'd mention it because I would love to get that lens, and I'm very jealous of all my friends who have it. So that's really everything that you need to get you started, but if you wanted any other accessories, I would definitely recommend a remote control. I have the official one from Canon right here, but you can get unbranded ones from Amazon and eBay as well. It's fairly inexpensive, but it does make filming so much easier. I'd also really recommend getting a power adapter as well. They're very inexpensive. I think mine was about £15 or £20 from Amazon, unbranded. I would definitely recommend those because the battery will drain very, very quickly while you're filming. I remember I used to film using my battery before I got my power adapter, and the camera would basically die halfway through filming. So either get a ton of extra batteries or get a power adapter, which is the much easier option. I'd also recommend getting an external microphone at some point. You don't need one when you're starting out. I didn't get one until I'd been on YouTube for a few months. And you don't have to get an external microphone. There are other ways of recording your sound. Like if you have a dictaphone for school or university, you could probably use that and then just sync the audio up afterwards. And that's everything. I really hope this helped you out if you're thinking of upgrading your camera for your YouTube channel or your blog. If you already film videos, if you already have this camera or another camera, let me know what you use in the comments and let me know if you'd recommend it and why. If you want to learn a bit more about starting a YouTube channel, I have a video all about that, and I have lots of other camera tutorials as well, which I will leave in the description box below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you're new. I make a new video every Friday at 6 PM, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!